Hello and welcome to the Third and Life podcast. And it's Divisional week. There are only 8 teams left before we get to the Super Bowl. I am here with Mr. Ollie Butler Henderson and we are ready for tonight. How are you today, Ollie?
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good in the house this end. How about yourself, Mr. Hope?
I am great as per usual. I'm excited for this weekend's football, specifically the Niners game. I really appreciate the fact they
Yeah.
decided to put that prime time on Saturday night. But
It's
yeah,
a late one for you, mate.
yeah, well, you had that last week.
Oh, don't. That hurt last week so much. And then to go to sleep like halfway through the third quarter because it was that bad.
Yeah, I was thinking I might do the same, but then I was like, hold on, it's the Niners. And we came back from a 17-0 deficit 2 weeks ago, so
We didn't even look like we could come back from a 17-0 deficit, let alone a 7-point deficit last week. It was ridiculous.
I mean, Josh Allen balled out, but
Josh Allen played himself in MVP conversation again, didn't he? He was absolutely
yeah.
superb.
We've got Stuart in. Good evening, Stuart.
Evening, Stu. How are you, mate? Oh, it's all good. So there's been a bit of news. Obviously, the interviews have started. The GMs now. There's some of them been on a few second interviews. Obviously, the Carolina's OC coach has had a couple of second interviews. The Bears have had a few interviews completed and pending as second interviews. Always makes me laugh that they haven't assigned a GM yet, and the same with Vikings. Yet they're conducting interviews for head coaches.
Yeah, I saw the Niners DC, D'Amico Ryans had at least one interview with the Vikings, and I believe an interview with someone else. I know the Niners OC had an interview with the Dolphins.
Yeah, there's a lot of Byron Leftwich. He's a lot of head coaches on a lot of head coach interviews, along with Brian Flores and Dan Quinn.
I
They're
believe
floating around on a few
the
of them.
Chiefs OC, Eric, can't pronounce his last names, had a few too.
Biami.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people that deserved a GM coach. I'm not sure Gerard Mayo is ready yet to step up to a GM from linebacker coach at New England Patriots, but who knows? Kellen Moore would be a very good,
Yeah, more will go somewhere. I know Tom definitely wants more at the Vikings.
as long as he doesn't do play calls like he did on Monday. I want to say Sunday night.
14 seconds left. What should we do? Let's do a QB draw.
As I said Monday, I reckon that was more on Dak Prescott than it was any of the coaching staff. And I'm very good, thank you, Stuart.
I am also very good. I
Cheers,
think it
Tim.
was on the play callers and Dak Prescott.
Like I said, they go to the line of scrimmage into the huddle with two play calls. That kind of play, that kind of thing, they would have several plays in their head, known for a 2 minute warning. They would be given 2 minute drills with no timeouts. They train for these week in, week out, so they practice these things. So I don't understand why he would decide to run it, and then he overran it as well.
Yes.
If they were on 1st and 10 anyway, so he could have gone up to that, spiked the ball, and he could have had a shot at the end zone with 5 seconds to go. He could have even had two shots if they got
Because
it off quick.
I know most offenses think if you don't have any timeouts, 16 seconds from start to end of a play if it stays in bounds.
Yeah.
He knew they had 14 seconds left.
Yeah, I mean, you had your guys lined up on the outside anyway. You could have even taken a couple of shots to the end zone.
Yeah.
From there, you could have taken a shot to the end zone. Then Niners would have gone. Okay, they can have a shot at the end zone. Let's play our Hail Mary lineup, and then you could have taken a shot to the end zone, another 15 yards down the line, and then you could have had a closer shot to the end zone. You could have run more of your playbook.
Yeah.
But as we said,
man up 3 deep as they call it on
yeah,
Madden.
there's quite a few good GMs that are kind of floating around.
Yeah, a couple of. I know the Niners assistant GM and VP of player personnel's had a couple of interviews with New York and Chicago.
Yeah, Derek Ziegler from the Patriots player personnel has had one, along with Eric Elliott Wolf, players personnel. He's had Vikings and he's had somewhere else as well. So there's a couple of Raiders, I think it is.
Yeah, I keep on forgetting Mike Davis. I keep on forgetting Mike Davis got sacked.
Yeah, he got
because they sort of
Monday,
did.
wasn't it, or Tuesday,
They did it. They did it like a week after everything else.
Very
Not Mike
quiet.
Davis. Mike.
Mike Myers. No,
Yeah.
that's the guy who went around slashing around everyone's face.
Yeah.
Mayock.
That's it. Mike Mayock. Mike Davis is the owner.
Yeah.
No, Stuart. Tom's got previous engagements today.
Yeah, just the two Ollies. Yeah, but when you go to a GM, you don't have the same kind of issues that obviously Las Vegas had this season with the Raiders. We know you've had DUIs, you've had fatal crashes, you've had someone pretty much trying to threaten to kill himself. No, that was in Minnesota, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was John Gruden with the sexist emails.
Yeah, you've got a lot of work to do there. You're going to need someone who's very good like public relations, and you've got someone who's very good with personnel, people, which the Patriots personnel both had really good backgrounds. Obviously, they're under Belichick, they're under Kraft. They're not going to let them go AWOL on that one, so they've got a stern background.
Honestly, I don't know that much about the Niners guys, but I know the assistant GM is definitely credited with some of the good drafting we've had of the Bosas and the Debos of the world.
Yeah, definitely.
Not so much the Solomon Thomases of the world.
No, definitely not. So you've had a couple of players being a little bit naughty over the week. You've had the Browns player deciding to I won't say what we were saying off air.
Public indecency, no, public exposure and
public exposure.
battery of an officer, I believe.
Yeah, aggravated. Why do you think you can get? I don't know the full story of it. I've not read it, but it's a stupid thing to do. And then it's pretty much aggravated battery of an officer, pretty much arrest. Trying to avoid arresting. I can't think of the bloody word. Yeah. I don't know, how bad is that?
Resisting arrest is.
Resisting arrest. That's the word I was looking for.
And then we've got the Jaguars DE who eluded the police in a chase. But I'm assuming he did something to warrant a chase.
I don't know. Again, it could have been. There's not a lot of information of it. All he's saying he's eluded arrest. He's now been arrested.
And then, if you're watching on Monday, we were quite critical of Dak Prescott's comment in his press conference.
Yes.
And Scotty, I'm glad you're with us for the first time. I hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome, Scott. Yeah, I mean, so Dak's now apologised for what he said.
As he should have done.
As he should have done. As we all said on Monday, he shouldn't have said it to start with. It was an idiotic comment to make.
It was.
Yes, he's at the moment things happen and we understand that, but you're a public figure, you understand that. I mean, I'm quite skeptical.
You're a role model.
I'm quite skeptical of what Ronaldo did last night when he got subbed off. He stropped off like he was a sport little brat, like he was a teenager being told he can't go out or something like that. It's like you're a role model for these kids. Take it on the chin, just jog yourself off, and then go right. Okay, it's the same kind of thing, but that damage is already done now with Dak.
Yes. I'm not convinced. I think he means what he's saying, or I think he might have just been told to say that.
No, I think he's been told to say that. I reckon he's been put in by his personnel and his press officer and stuff like that, and look, you can't do things like that. I don't think Mike McCarthy's got the bollocks to say that, to be honest. If anything else.
Yes, Scotty, we have seen that news. It's actually rolling along the bottom of the moment. The Bones DT Malik McDowell.
That's one way of putting it, Scotty, getting naked.
Getting naked and attacking someone.
That's brilliant. I mean, we spoke about this off field about the Seahawks GM or the DC getting sacked. And we both agreed that it's more of the personnel or the lack of skilled personnel that they have on that in the D than they have on the actual play calling.
Yeah, because we were going through it. They have Bobby Wagner, who's getting old. They have the other linebacker, who's. Can you remember his name?
No, I can get it though because he's in my stat sheet.
He's the one who's high on tackle, who's really high on tackles. And then they have Jamal Adams,
Brooks.
who is like wasn't having a great season before he got injured. But
He
apart from
wasn't
that,
having a bad season. He was fairly high up in tackles, which is what he is. But they paid all this money for him to have all these interceptions, and he hadn't.
yeah. Well, I mean, they paid all this money and spent all these draft picks
for nothing. I mean, they haven't got a first round pick this year, and I don't think they've got one next year either, have they? Can't remember off the top of my head. I can't remember the round picks they gave to him.
I think it was 2 first round picks, so I think they do have one next year.
Fair enough.
I think it was last year and this year.
It's stupid. It really is a stupid thing to do. Talk about stupid thing. What the? So Bruce Arians has been fined for slapping his own player in the head.
Yeah.
Don't get that one.
I also, don't really understand.
I mean, I've seen the clip, and it is like him clipping his kids around the ears.
Yeah.
And I understand the FA trying to stamp out all this violence and all that lot. Not the FA, the NFL.
Yeah.
It's a violent sport.
Yeah. I was just wondering.
You're taught to see the ball and hit the person.
Yeah. Did you see Andy Reid's interview today?
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
That was quite an interesting one. So he likened winning the Super Bowl to eating a piece of chocolate cake.
Now I know where I've seen that fat kid from Matilda from.
And then he was like, and if you have another piece of chocolate cake dangling in front of you, you want to eat it.
Yeah, we'll get to the wild card. We'll get to the divisional roundup in a minute, but yeah.
I just feel like, okay, interesting analogy.
Is that like dangling a carrot in front of a horse to make it move? Is he trying to think of it that way?
I'm not sure.
Is it? It's.
But he was like, yeah, winning the Super Bowl's like eating a piece of chocolate cake.
And we all seen Andy Reid. He likes chocolate cake, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, actually, was the captioning competitions we ran ages ago was him about ordering takeaway off it?
Yeah, that might have been it. Was that Andy Reid or was that someone else?
I'm sure it was Andy Reid.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't Bruce. It could have been Bruce Arians.
Yeah.
But I got a feeling it's more of Andy Reid than it's Bruce Arians. But it's another stupid thing to do. It's another stupid thing the NFL have done, like hugging a goalpost. Let's do them for taunting. Yet when Stephon Diggs ran across, I don't even think it was Stephon Diggs. I can't think who it was now. It was one of the Bills players literally pointing to the New England Patriots linebackers as he was crossing the line and wasn't flagged for taunting.
Yeah, that's weird because that I've seen a Bengals player pointed at a niner after an interception or turnover on downs or something, and he got done for taunting.
Tyreek Hill did it as well. Because Tyreek Hill gives the peace sign up and all that when he got done for that as well. And it's like, it's not really taunting.
No.
Yes, it is disrespectful. It's like the ball stopping on the goal line, you getting on your knees and headering it in. It is disrespectful, but it's not taunting. And for running out to the bloody post and hugging it when you celebrate like DK Metcalf did, isn't a taunting foul. It's stupidity.
The thing that annoys me is like, say you wanted to you can give the ball to a fan, but if you get a pen out and sign it and give it to a fan, that's taunting.
Which is another stupid thing. Well, we all
because
saw what
I believe the rule is if you use another piece of equipment other than the ball, it's seen as taunting.
Well, it's not as bad as what the college football. We've seen draft day and what Vontae Mack did when he gave the ball to his sister.
He got ejected from the game, didn't he?
He got ejected for the game for touching the ref on the shoulder.
Oh.
But he got a unsportsmanlike conduct for giving the ball to his sister.
Yeah.
Sorry
Yeah, well,
if you haven't seen Draft Day, we've just given it away. I do apologise.
well, we're not giving much away.
No, that's very true. Unlike all I did when me and Kelly watched it the other day.
Did you just basically quote the film?
Pretty much gave away what happened. Yeah.
Would you like you saw him write on that piece of paper and you're like, that's what it said?
No, it was. Kelly has to remind me then, but it was about who went first. It was about the draft order. But yeah. Monday night's game, that wasn't the shootout we were expecting.
No, it was domination, really.
It was Rams at probably their best I've seen them this season. Defense is starting to click now. Von Miller is another explosive weapon in that defense. And at one point, Odell Beckham had more passing yards than Kyler Murray. Oh yeah, I did that as well.
Yeah, it's been about a month for England Britain in Australia.
Against
really,
Australia, yeah.
Well, just in Australia with the tennis results today too.
Oh god, yeah. Apparently, Emma Raducanu was told not to play, but
yeah, she had a
sorry if you've
blister.
not seen that. Yeah. Odell Beckham's pass. This is it here. He says, when it loads. There you go. So we're going to run it back here and press the magic play button and put the volume on. He says, look at that. It was a proper dime to Akers. On the money. I mean, we've seen it. How many times have we seen Beckham do that now?
He's done it a few.
He's very accomplished as a quarterback as well.
Yeah. I remember when the Niners last played the Browns a couple of seasons ago. Within the first quarter, OBJ had more passing yards than Baker did.
That's actually quite funny.
I actually think he had more completions too.
Browns fans are probably going, yeah, that's not surprising. Yeah, I mean, that was what in the first quarter, wasn't it? That was to set up the second touchdown. But Cardinals didn't look right at all. I mean, me and you got it right. Tom, Noah, and Stu all got it wrong. All the rest of us got it right. We all went.
Well, I mean, me and you had that bonus points on the predictor league, which sent us flying up the table.
Oh yeah, well you flew from just outside the 100, or just inside the 100, just inside the 50, and
I'm just I think I'm just outside the 50.
But yeah, that was
I'm just about on the first page of the leaderboard.
Yeah, and me. It was a very strange game. I mean, Kyler Murray didn't look to himself. I mean, we'll show this play from Kyler Murray now.
Carson Wentz-esque.
Did he get rid of it? It's intercepted.
Well, go back a little bit more so it's a bit better shown. But
Rams pressure is picked up. Kyler. Did he get rid of it? It's intercepted. It's David Long.
Can also be streaky. And when you put him under pressure, under the spotlight of the playoffs, how are they going to respond?
Sometimes you've just got to take the safety.
Take the knee. Just go down. It's what Carson Wentz did against
Titans.
I was about to say, I want to say the Titans. It was silly things to do. It's those things that cost you games.
The thing that surprised me about that game is it was Matthew Stafford's first playoff win.
Yeah, and it was Odell Beckham's first touchdown as well.
Oh wow, I didn't know that, but I didn't know it was Matthew Stafford's first win in the playoffs.
It was, yeah. I mean, Stafford didn't look like it was a player who's not played many games in the playoffs. Kyler Murray looked like it was his first snap in the NFL. Sometimes he looked absolutely petrified on the running that thing around.
Deer in the headlights.
Oh, very much so, very much so. If I fire the stats up very quickly, Kyler Murray only 134 yards, 2 interceptions.
James Conner 19 yards, 1 TD.
Yeah,
I mean, even Stafford rushed more than.
Yeah, 22 yards, even rushed for a touchdown as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Odell Beckham was what? Pretty much a fifth of the yardage.
Yeah, about
One
that.
throw from Kyler Murray, and he had 4 receptions for 54 yards and a touchdown as well.
Yeah.
He's fitted into that offense very nicely.
Okay, except for when he's against the Niners.
No
Because
one
I
did well
believe
against the Niners.
when they played the Niners, we've had 4 interceptions off Stafford, and I think 3 of them have been to Odell.
Ouch. Oh yeah, that was his first game though, wasn't it? Was it his
2 of
first
them
game?
were, yeah. 2 of them were.
Yeah.
2 of them were when they hadn't had a practice together, to be fair.
Yeah, I was about to say you could tell that he ran that way and the ball was going that way.
Yeah.
He ran a skinny post and the ball was going like, I think it was actually to a full out post. It was an out drive.
Yeah.
That there was a very, very strange play. I likened it early on to Julian Edelman in the Super Bowl even.
Yeah. The interception that turned into a completion.
Things give you a little bit
Yeah, let's push that one back.
filter from this offense. And listen, sometimes those things give you a little bit of momentum. I think there's one goal in mind.
I mean, he doesn't look like a rookie pulling that off, does he?
Yeah, well, you can say that Rondell Moore might be one of the quickest players to come out this year's draft or last year's draft. His hands weren't that good. He's put down a few drops this year, Rondell Moore.
Yeah.
He's quick and he's had some really good receptions, some really good touchdowns. But he's not that quick. He's not that reliable with his hands.
He could be great. Actually, I'll put this question to you because I saw this today. Who do you think is a bigger bust? Jalen Rieger or N'Keal Harry?
I'm going to say the guy with no hands, not the guy with better hands.
Both of them have no hands.
No, I mean, Khalil Harry's made a few catches. I've not seen much of Rieger, if I'm honest, at Philadelphia.
The thing with Rieger is he'll always be known as the guy that was taken one place ahead of Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. And if I see any of my kids doing Justin Jefferson celebrations like Ilanga did last night, I would not be happy.
So sever off.
Yep, off you go. I don't mind celebrations, but not bloody. I'm guessing it's something to do with Fortnite dancing again,
It's the gritty or the gritty or whatever, isn't it?
I have no idea.
It's called the gritty. I don't think it is Fortnite actually.
Shall we go on to players of the week before we go on to next week's games or this weekend's games? We will give you Tom's first because we've just been talking about it. Tom's gone for Odell Beckham. He has had a good game. I'm close to saying he's actually filling his potential in LA. Is that a fair assumption?
I think it's a bit still too early to say.
He's looking, as you say, apart from against LA, he is looking better every game.
Against San Francisco.
Yes, that's what I meant. He is looking better every game.
Yes, he is. He's beginning to look like the Odell Beckham first couple of seasons in New York.
With the hook over the head catch.
Yep, the one-handed catch that made him famous.
Pretty much did. I think that catch went viral. I still can't believe how he made it. I mean, he had his shirt tugged and grabbed and everything.
Nobody really knew Odell Beckham's name before that.
No, I mean, what did he come out? Second or third round, isn't he? He wasn't even a first round pick or something like that from LSU. LSU have good quarterbacks. Not good quarterbacks, good wide receivers down there.
Yeah.
On yours, Mr. Hope. Go on then.
I mean, I was always going to pick...
Show Debo some love again.
I was always going to pick a Niner, wasn't I?
Yeah, standard.
And I mean, Debo, over 100 yards, scrimmage, 1 TD. He looked like Debo, really.
One thing that surprises me about Debo, he's not in any conversations for Offensive Player of the Year or MVP.
I know.
He has had, he's not as good a season as Jefferson, Jonathan Taylor, Cooper Kupp, but he is having a hell of a season. He is having a career season. Was he over 1,000 yards receiving, over 350 yards rushing?
Yeah,
for a
in the,
wide receiver.
in the regular season, yeah. And I think he got something like 7 TDs rushing too.
Yeah, this is a wide receiver. He is built like a running back. He is built like, and he plays like a wide receiver. He is a superb player and should be in the conversation for it. And he could be an absolute, well, he will be an absolute superstar in this league. And we took Khalil Harry before him, and Jefferson, and
Yeah. Well, I mean, we took
and Metcalf. It's like,
actually, I think was yeah. I think Jefferson was the was the draft after
yeah,
Debo and
yeah,
Metcalf,
you're correct. But yeah, we still took Khalil Harry first, which I don't get. Okay, yes, he is.
Muzz is in. All right, Muzz. I was about to say I had a bit of a conversation with Muzz on Monday about whether Debo was the most complete player in the NFL.
How's your ref course? I think he is. Yeah, he is one of the most complete wide receivers in the league. I mean, we see a lot of wide receivers doing jet sweeps, lining up in the backfield, and then doing, the screen pass. But he actually lines up in the backfield and takes a handoff and literally runs through the line like a running back. He is probably one of the best.
I was watching
multi-talented wide receiver in the league.
I was watching Brian Baldinger break down play this morning of Debo running.
Oh, Brian Baldy.
Just what? Yeah.
I can't do his finger, but yeah, it goes that way.
Yeah.
The one that got trapped in some players' face mask, didn't it?
Yeah. That was nasty.
Yeah. My player of the week. Well, I wasn't going to give it to Josh Allen, even though Josh Allen probably deserved it. I'm surprised neither of us gave it to Josh Allen, really, because he was absolutely superb. But I'm not going to give it to a Bills player. That's my way of going 2 fingers up to them. You're not getting my player of the week.
I'm sure they'll be deeply hurt by it.
Oh, they will be. It's another thing for them. But I'm going for Travis Kelce.
I mean, he had a great game.
He even threw for a touchdown. Is there anything like Chiefs? Like, right, let's go to the back of the playbook. Yeah, we'll pick that one today. It was a great little play. He lined up in the shotgun position, little basketball type pass over the top to the. I can't even remember who it was. I think it was Pringle actually.
Travis Kelce's mum managed to attend some of both the Philadelphia game in Tampa and the KC game.
That's brilliant. I'm glad it went well, Muzz. Good to be back doing it again. Hopefully, a ref for a few more cup finals.
Yeah, I mean, I've been assistant.
It's always good to have another ref in the thing.
I've been assistant referee for a cup final at Wadham Road before.
Nice. Hopefully, my son will be in a cup final at Wadham Road this year. Hopefully, we've got our first cup game in a couple of weeks. So hopefully,
hopefully you'll be coaching.
I will be coaching. Hopefully, I'll be coaching in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as we go on to divisional roundup, I am looking forward to all 4 of these games. Although I don't think the Packer fans are going to be enjoying, or the Niner fans are going to be really enjoying the game at Lambeau because that looked cold.
As Muzz said, there's no feeling like reffing in a cup final.
You
get a little trophy and everything.
I've played in a few of them. Played in a few finals, but I've never reffed in one.
You've won a couple, haven't you?
I've won a couple, yeah. I scored twice for the college again at Bristol City's ground, and they come knocking on my door going, like to come try for us? Nope. I left you 2 years ago. Shall we start with the first game? As always, guys and girls, put your predictions in for the games. As we go through them, we're going to go all 4 games. As Tom's not here, we do have Tom's, and I also have Noah's predictions because he's upstairs asleep.
Hopefully.
He should. Well, they've not come down, so I haven't need to stiff arm him yet.
No stiff arming this week.
No stiff arming them tonight.
Like I said, I still want to see a Henry to Josh Norman-esque stiff arm.
It was near enough there. It was near enough. First game, Bengals against the Titans. So the Bengals had their first.
I think this hinges on one thing.
Henry.
How healthy is Derrick Henry?
So it was week 7 or week 8. He went down with that foot injury, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 7 or 8. I can't remember exactly when, but
so it was touted 10 to 12 weeks. He's returned. So he has returned. He came back off. He was designated to practice last week of the regular season, so that's 3
Yes.
weeks. So he has to be activated this week off IR because they got 21 days.
Yes.
I think they will play him. They have to play him because he gives them that X factor. But can that secondary of Titan or Tennessee hold up against that explosive offense of Cincinnati?
Jamar
Jamar
Chase,
Chase,
T.
T. Higgins,
Tyler Boyd,
Tyler Boyd, the
and
wide receiver,
the inverted whistle.
and the tight end who I can't pronounce his name to save my
Oh,
life.
CJ is Moser.
Uzamosa. Yeah,
And
that's the guy.
we can't forget Joe Mixon too.
Joe Mixon out that backfield is third highest rushing receiver, third highest rush this year.
Something
He
like that.
rushed. He was third highest. He rushed just over 1,200 yards. I mean, Derek Henry still had just under 1,000 yards in 9 games.
Yeah.
8 games. So they will get him back, but it depends how quick he is going to be back, how quick he is at the speed it is. Tom's gone for Bengals.
So I'm
Noah's
actually
gone for Bengals.
I'm actually going to change my predictions to what I said earlier tonight.
Not allowed. Not allowed. No, I've written it down. You can't change it. Yeah, go on then, mate.
So I said Titans earlier, but I'm going to change my mind and go Cincinnati.
Why have you changed your mind?
Well, I just thought about all the weapons that Cincinnati actually do have on offense.
Julio Jones and AJ Brown are the main weapons for Tennessee.
Yes.
Tannehill. Oh, Kelly's gone. Kelly and Muzz have both gone for Bengals. Kelly's even put a little cat up. Look. Yeah, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be great to watch, to be fair, and I'm glad it's on at a reasonable time so I can actually watch it because it's going to be great. I'm going to go for Bengals as well. I just think their offense is too strong at the moment. Yes, it's going to be Joe Burrow's only second game in the playoffs. We talked about at the start of the season. We gave our predictions.
Yes.
Not one of us mentioned Joe Burrow as a comeback player of the year.
No, because Nick Bosa's going to win it.
Oh, Nick Bosa loves back again. I was waiting for this. As we've just mentioned, Nick Bosa, is he going to be fit for Sunday morning's games in a very cold Lambeau?
I believe yesterday he was limited at practice.
So is he cleared concussion? I'm guessing if he's limited practice.
Yeah, the important thing was Fred Warner was back to full, and I believe Jimmy Garoppolo with his sprained shoulder and whatever he did and broken thumb was full practice.
That's good then. But Lambeau in January, we've seen the pictures. It is literally under about 1.5 feet of snow.
So here's my thing. The Niners have, in my opinion, one of the best rushing attacks in the NFL. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay, I'm with you so far.
Yeah.
And the Niners, the Packers' rushing defense, it's 30th in yards per attempt and 28th in DVOA this year. And I'm not sure if you remember a couple of years ago when the Niners played the Green Bay in Lambeau. I think that was the Levi in the championship thing, and Raheem Mostert run all over them, scoring 4 touchdowns.
Possibly. I think that was in the regular season, wasn't it?
No, it was definitely championship game. I remember because my friend texted me before the game saying, is there anyone that's going to score 2 touchdowns? I said, probably not, but if there's anyone, there'll be Raheem Mostert or Aaron Jones, and Mostert scored 4 and Jones scored 2.
Remind me of the result in week 3.
It was 30-28 to Green Bay with Mason Crosby hitting a last-minute field goal.
So it could be a close game. I mean,
however, I feel like the Niners have improved a lot since.
I was about to say Niners have got a lot better. They've been playing some really good football the last 3 or 4 weeks.
And
played.
also, Aaron Rodgers is 0-3 against the Niners in the postseason.
But Aaron Rodgers is the MVP of the league this year. Remember that one.
Don't.
So here's my thinking. Green Bay have had a week off. You've got a banged up Nick Bosa. You've got a banged up quarterback. You've got a banged up linebacker. That's my thinking. How much is Jimmy Garoppolo's movement or arm movement going to be hindered by the shoulder injury? How much are they going to play Trey Lance? How much are they going to rely on the likes of Kittle, Debo,
Ayuk,
and Mitchell?
and most has actually been clear for practice this week.
So my thinking is Lambeau in a very cold December with their defense back, their main key areas back, so their main linebackers back. Alexander's back, whatever his name is, I can't remember the name off the top of my head now, is back.
Jair Alexander.
Yeah, that's his name, is back as well. Obviously, you're going for.
I've got Packers.
You said to me pre-Packers.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Packers.
So Tom's gone for Niners.
Yeah, so's Muzz.
Tom's love for Green Bay.
He's saying Green Bay pretenders. The record for has gone 49ers for me, and Kelly's kept with her form of predicting against the 49ers.
Hey, if Kelly goes if you go all the way to the Super Bowl, and Kelly predicts you in the Super Bowl, are you going to be upset if you go to the Super Bowl?
I'll tell you what. If we win this week, I fancy us for the Super Bowl.
Why have I just put a tick next to my name? Noah's also gone for Packers as well. I'm doubling up. I'm going for Packers as well. I just think it's going to be a very cold Lambeau. I think they're predicting snow and -7 or something stupid like that at the moment.
Yeah, well, Jimmy used to play the Patriots, so he's used to the cold.
Yeah, but you're a little bit nearer Canada and Green Bay.
Yeah.
Probably up to another. Although I'm going to say that I read an article or saw something earlier on. I can't remember what it was now. That saying that Tennessee is probably the worst number 1 seed ever.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
I mean, if you look at who they've had this year, obviously Cardinals, Seahawks,
Rams and Niners.
New York. They've had Jets, Jags, Colts, obviously twice. Seahawks. Seattle.
They had a bit of a gift against us.
They've had several gifts. I mean, they've had Houston twice. They've had Jacksonville twice. In Indianapolis twice. And Indianapolis, tried to gave them a win.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I could probably go with that one. I would, yeah. That's why I've gone to Bengals. Anyway, on to Sunday evening.
This is a good one, isn't it?
This is a good one. And have you seen the videos lately of Tom Brady actually catching a ball?
Yeah.
Why couldn't he have done that against the Eagles?
that one still cuts deep, doesn't it, Ollie?
When he played for the Patriots, for Kelly, who didn't watch NFL back then, but they were doing what was called the Philly Special, their version of the Philly Special. And the ball was literally on the dime. Amendola. There was Amendola. Yeah, Amendola for it.
And
it was in the bucket, and he missed it, and he fell over. And then
Tom Brady spilled it, and then ended up flapping.
But yeah, he can pick one off, and he picked one off against New York, and he did it again against the Eagles this weekend. It's like, you just rubbing salt into our wounds. I got a feeling this could be the end of Tampa Bay's Super Bowl defense.
The thing is, I agree with you on that.
I just think LA have got something going at the moment.
They looked so good last week.
They've looked first half against you guys, they looked good. The second half, they kind of realizing what the results going on at the stadiums and took their foot off the gas.
Do you think?
I not taking anything away against you in week 18. I just think they took their foot off the gas because they were trying a few other things, and they kind of knew, right, we're in now, no matter what. We're guaranteed, to win the division because Arizona are getting their arses handed to them by Seattle.
I mean, I disagree.
Like I said, this is not taking anything away from you because you guys were absolutely superb in the second half in week 18.
I just think we realized what was going on and what we had to do.
But I think they've now got Von Miller has given an extra dimension to that defense.
OBJ's getting better and better.
Yeah, he was brilliant week 17 against...
Spoken like a true Patriots fan from Kelly.
Fair enough. I am going against...
And Muzz agrees with TB12 for the win. I mean, we're both going against one of the cardinal sins of the NFL and never bet against Brady.
Never bet against Brady, especially in the playoffs. Brady has only been beaten, 3-4 times in the playoff? 3 of them by Mannings.
Yeah.
2 against New York Giants in 05 and 07. It might be in 07, 09. Definitely
07, 09.
Yeah. Once against in Eline's... Peyton Manning's goodbye tour. And then Nick Foles.
Once against Nick Foles.
Yeah, once against Nick Foles. Betting against Brady.
Philly.
Yeah, betting against Brady in the playoffs is a gamble and a half. But I just think Bucks are too badly damaged. They've only got one fully fit wide running back. They've only got really one or two or one really good wide receiver. Yes, they've got Gronk. Yes, they've got OJ Howard.
And Tristan Wirfs, I think, is a big loss.
Yeah, it's a very... Yeah, I mean, they were struggling. Philly were getting at them. Was getting at Brady, even though he didn't... And I'm not saying this because he didn't throw that extra 29 yards that cost me £300 last week.
Not that you're bitter.
Nah, not bitter at all. Not that I'm not bitter that he left Patriots either. No, I just think that there is too many injuries now picking up on that in that Bucks offense to hold LA.
I mean, I still think it's funny what went down between Brady and the Patriots.
It was going to happen. It reminds me of Brett Favre in Green Bay.
It was neither team wanting to blink first. If the Patriots said to Brady, "We want you," he'd have stayed. If Brady had said to the Patriots, "I want to play for you," they'd have given him a new contract. There was literally no team blinking first.
Which is the NFL for you. Into the repeat, what everyone thought was possibly going to be the AFC final, AFC Championship game. Are you going for Rams, aren't you, as well?
Yes, Rams.
Yeah, we're going for Rams. Noah's gone for Bucks, by the way.
Who's Tom gone for?
Tom's gone for the Rams as well.
Kelly, look at Kelly's.
Yeah, Rams will bottle it. They have gone to a Super Bowl. They bottle it in the Super Bowl, mind you.
I mean, it takes someone to know bottle jobs, doesn't it?
Mm.
I mean, Kelly's a Spurs fan, so I just thought I'd have a pop at that. And there we go. Most of fees with Kelly.
Yeah, although bloody hell, sounds like I've got bloody whole typhoon going over my head at the moment. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Wow, it's a bit loud.
Muzz.
Who do you support, Muzz?
He's an Arsenal
You're an Arsenal fan, aren't you? Yeah, of course you are.
Muzz, what do you think the result at the moment?
What is it? Is it 1-0 Liverpool at the minute?
Yeah.
Chiefs Bills. So
this must be an absolute shootout. It's two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, two of the best offenses in the NFL, two of the best defenses in the NFL at the moment.
We've got Mustang Gunners and then
Dirty Goon. Oh, there's going to be a bit of banter going on between these two. This is going to be great fun to watch. Just carry on, you two. We're fine.
yeah, we're fighting, so hopefully get the equalizer.
That's fair enough, but you'll still be out though.
Bring Thomas Partey. Just bring Tom. No, the away goals doesn't count anymore.
No.
Bring Thomas Partey on. I mean, he's only been in the country for like
6
a couple
hours.
of hours.
I want to say, looking what Buffalo did against us last weekend. And
Embarrassing you.
I think bloody Alabama could have done a better job against Buffalo than we did. It was ridiculous.
Partey's just come on apparently.
Chiefs defense is probably the last few weeks of the season have been absolutely superb. The O-line has gelled. They found something, but I just think that I don't know. It's just something that's picking me to go towards. Sorry, Bill. They're an arrow ahead. I know what
You're struggling with this one, aren't you, Ollie?
I've written down Bills. It is literally coin toss.
I mean, the Bills are my pick for the Super Bowl, and I'm going to stick with them.
Yeah, Tom's gone for the Bills as well. Noah's gone for the Chiefs.
Oh, Noah's is a Chiefs fan.
Noah is a Chiefs fan. Noah will go Chiefs all the way.
Muzz has gone Chiefs by 1.
You know what? I'm going to change what I've written down. I'm going to go for the Chiefs, I think.
And
think
Kelly's contradicting herself.
I think Bills. Who are you going for, Kelly?
What? I think she's going. I think she's going for the Chiefs.
I think the Chiefs in Arrowhead.
The Chiefs are pretty good in Arrowhead.
Are pretty good in Arrowhead, even apart from when we played them in 2018 and we beat them. Way.
They've lost a couple in Arrowhead this season, but that was
early on. That was early on the start of the season when they were having issues.
Issues with the O-line.
Yeah, that O-line has fixed itself.
Yes, Kelly is going Chiefs.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to double check. Not doubting you at all, babe.
I think Buffalo are going to win, but I want to predict the Chiefs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is not running around like a headless chicken anymore.
No, because
he is still scrambling. He's still scrambling really well, but he needs to taking the risk when he needs to. He's not doing the no-look passes anymore.
Since one got picked.
Yeah, they're expanding the playbook more and more. They're bringing new elements into offense, and when you've got someone who's got the pace of like Tyreek Hill,
Byron Pringle,
and Byron Pringle and Nicole Hardman, you've got, and they've. I think Carlos Edward-Helaire is going to be back as well.
Yeah,
Derek Williams is there.
Bills have got their offense going with Stephon Diggs and Devin Singletary.
Knox is starting to look now as well, but the Bills, they finished 10-7.
I mean, it's two very stacked offenses.
And Kansas went 13-3, didn't they?
Yeah, I think was it 12-5?
It might have been 12-5 actually.
I think it's just going to be whichever defense steps up.
2-0, Joshua again. Sorry, Mers, 2-0. I got a feeling it could be whoever have the ball last.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be that kind of game.
Hopefully, it's a bit of a high-scoring thriller.
I would love to see a LA Rams Kansas City Chiefs 2018 50-odd something, 40 something. That was game of the decade. If anyone's never watched that game, go and find it on the Game Pass. Go and find it on YouTube because, it was probably one of the greatest games. It shows NFL football at its greatest, and then go and watch the 2018 Super Bowl when it shows.
Don't watch that. Don't waste your time.
Two very contracting games.
I mean, I think it'll be interesting NFL this season when they release their top 5 games of the season.
Yeah,
And
that's going to be good.
just see how many of them win week 18.
How many are going to have Bills shutouts? Because Bills at the start of the season, they were shutting out everyone apart from Steelers. Because they beat Washington shutout, they beat Tennessee shutout, didn't they?
And then
Houston, sorry, shutout, yeah, and then lost.
And then
to,
lost to the Jags. What was it, the Jets?
It was the Jags. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to put on the screen what Muzz just said, but
I need to read his comment now.
we're a family-friendly show, Muzz.
It rhymes with duck. Anyone wants to know? It rhymes with duck. So, as you know, every week we are picking a player for who's entering the draft this year. And this week we have gone for
the favourite to be picked one in the draft.
Yeah, one of the two favourites to be picked in the draft. It's Adrian Hutchinson, defensive end for Michigan, number 97.
And we've got the draft order going on along the bottom.
Along the bottom as well. We've got a couple of videos of him in a minute. So his stats for this year was 36 solo tackles, 26 assisted, 14 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles.
I don't know about you, Ollie, but he looks like a mix of TJ Watt and Nick Bosa to me.
I've got written down here TJ Watt likeness. I reckon he's quicker than TJ Watt. I mean, I'm going to show you this video now before we look into a bit more. This is the final against Ohio. Look what he does to a 330-pound left tackle. He ran straight through him. No stops whatsoever. I mean, go on, Dan. I've muted the video because we didn't really need to listen to the music.
I mean, it was he was what, a 330-pound senior?
330 pounds, 6 foot left tackle, Tyler Munford. So he's been around. Knows the NFL. He's entering the draft as well. That's not going to be on his highlight reel. Because you don't want to see that one. You've got a little video of him as well, of some of his clips. I mean, obviously when we showed OBJ a couple of weeks ago, his teammate, there was clips of Adrian Hutchinson as well, because they do work as a double team very, very well. I'll hide this one. Oh, just a free advert coming in. Don't mind us. I mean, he's quick.
Just look at 97 go.
It's going to be interesting to see his 440. His 40-yard dash. I mean, look at it. He is in the Big Ten. It's a good conference, the Big Ten. I mean, QB didn't have a chance. That one. So it looks like he can line up on either side of the defense as well. Look, there he is again. Boom. And there's OBJ. Why am I pointing to the screen? No one can see that. I mean, you saw the double tag team of him and OBJ there.
There's 97 there.
And there's a quarterback there on the floor. He is going to be absolutely superb. I've got to show what Kelly's just on because it's quite funny. Is every player going to be Bosa-esque? No.
I think they've got the message of
yeah. I mean, he is going to be. I mean, he's touted to go number one.
I think he's got to go number one.
He's a defensive end, so the way that Jacksonville line up is a 3-4 defense, so a 3 D lineman and then a 4 linebacker. I think they're more likely going to go for the edge rusher from Oregon, which is Obadefu, or however you pronounce his surname. So I reckon he'll go to Detroit, who line up as more of a 4-3 defense.
That answers your question, Kelly. I think Jacksonville have to go for him because I just think Josh Allen one end, Adrian Hutchinson the other. That could be scary.
I think because, as I just said then, because Jacksonville run a 3-4 line, so they're going to run 3 D linemen and a 4 linebacker. I got a feeling they're going to run.
Do you not think they might switch with to a 4-3 with him?
Admittedly, it depends on
obviously
the
new
head coach they
coach.
bring in. It depends on the head coach, but at the moment they do run a 3-4, so that's why I say they're going to go with the lad from Oregon. It's going to be interesting he's going to go top 2 no matter what.
Yes.
Like I said, Philly have got 3 picks. Are Detroit's going to go, right, we're going to run with Goff. Let's trade down because this draft is stacked with high quality defense going in. Some really good corners coming in. The guy out of Michigan, out of Cincinnati, which is going to cover in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, I believe we're doing Riddler next week, are we not?
Yeah, we got Cincinnati players back to back. Cincinnati Bearcat players back to back. We'll do Riddler next week, and we'll do Ahmad Sauce Gardner the week after. With a name like that, I hope he's good because otherwise he's going to look like an absolute dick. But I've seen him. He is a very good cornerback. To be fair, he's rated the top cornerback in the country at the moment. But
yeah,
Aiden Hutchinson.
If you hadn't noticed, we're alternating weeks between defense and offense.
Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson is.
He's an animal.
He's an animal. He's going to transform a defense almost like Parsons has done to Dallas.
Look at the past couple of years. Garrett, Bosa, Young, Parsons, all transformed defenses.
Defense wins championships.
Yeah.
This is why I'm always really surprised that QBs go a lot higher than defensive players. Defensive players do win you championships. They stop the other team scoring. Okay, yes, the QBs are the playmakers, the stars of the league, but
offense wins champion. Offense sells tickets. Defense wins championships.
Exactly. One of the Patriots' biggest off-season go-gets of the last 10 years was Stephon Gilmore and Matt Judon. Both, Stephon Gilmore won Defensive Player of the Year 2019. Matt Judon has added 10 sacks to our league this year.
Where did you get Judon from again?
Judon come from, I want to say Tennessee.
Yeah, I was thinking Tennessee, but I wasn't sure.
Because I think he came to Tennessee with Hunter Henry. No, it wasn't. It was Pittsburgh, I think.
It was Jonnu Smith that came from Tennessee, wasn't it?
Jonnu Smith that came from Tennessee. Yeah.
Oh, quick! I'm going to Google it now.
Matt Judon was Pittsburgh. To name that, Matt Judon has been playing rib injuries for the last 4 or 5 weeks, so that's why his sack rate was down.
It was Ravens actually.
It was Baltimore. It was that conference. I got it right. I don't think he's going to fall to us. I would snap their arms off if he fell to us.
So, Kelly, we will be doing 2 mock drafts as the draft comes closer.
Yep. We will do one after the Super Bowl, sometime in February, and then we'll do one at the end of April before the draft. Love to see your mock drafts. Love to see where you think players are going to, who you think your team's going to draft. And
just to clarify, it will be a 1-man mock draft.
Yes. 1 round, we will do it each. I think we'll probably just do an overlay like we did with the banners, just show it on there and we can just talk through it. Yeah. I think that'll probably be the easiest way.
Or just have it going along the bottom.
That could be an even easier way, probably. I'm looking forward to this weekend's football. There is really, really good games.
I'm less nervous about this week than I was last week. And I think that's because last week I thought we were going to win. And this week I think we're going to lose.
Yeah, you've got less expectations going into this.
Yes.
I think they're going to get Pickett. I reckon Pickett will stay in Pittsburgh.
Well, we'll be looking at both Pickett and Midler or Riddle or whatever is coming out.
I was looking at this going, looking at the QBs that's possibly going to be needing, so we're probably looking at QBs are probably going to be needed in. I reckon Atlanta might take one, but it'll be in the later rounds. I don't think Carolina will take one. I think they'll run with Sam Darnold. I think Denver may take one.
Denver need one.
It depends. It depends on on free agency. Indy, I don't think they'll take one. I think Houston will definitely take one.
No, I think Houston might stick with Mills.
Jacksonville, Kansas, Las Vegas, both LAs
Kansas
won't take one. Thank you.
Oh, I thought you
Let me
said.
finish.
I thought you were saying they were going to take one.
Miami won't. Vikings won't. We won't. New Orleans possibly. Both New York Jets might, but they've got bigger needs than a quarterback. I mean, they could still take the 5th-year option on Danny Dimes next month. Philadelphia won't. Pittsburgh definitely will.
I still think Pittsburgh is going to end up with Jimmy Garoppolo.
I read something today that Pittsburgh, Rudolph and Heineke, not Heineke, what's his name? Begins with H. Yeah, they brought Haskins.
Oh, yeah.
They are looking forward to the battle to win the QB1 job. I think looking at the two that come forward, and Riddler and Pickett, I think they are both better quarterbacks than what they've got in Philip.
I saw someone suggesting that Pittsburgh trade a 1st and a 3rd for Jimmy G.
Wow.
I would slap your hand off if you offered us a 1st and a 3rd for Jimmy G.
That's major, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I think Party's just been sent off.
And apparently Tomlin's confirmed neither of them are going to be the main man. So
yeah, you can't. I mean, Mason Rudolph, when he took over from Big Ben last season, he looked very bitty, and that's not Little Britain bitty.
Yeah, that's where my mind went. So yeah, not for a 1st and a 3rd. If we get a 1st and a 3rd for Jimmy, I will be over the moon.
I reckon you'll probably get a 2nd.
I don't think we should take a 2nd.
Fair enough.
I feel like give us a 1st, or we'll keep him as a backup for next season.
I don't reckon he'll back. I reckon he'll be our starter.
Yeah,
I reckon he'll be going on. He'll be living on that trellis like whenever teams draft rookie quarterbacks. When you're gonna, when Alex Smith had Patrick Mahomes sat behind him all season long, the Chiefs fans were asking for Mahomes, wanting Mahomes to play. And you feel sorry for the quarterbacks in that situation. You really do. Because it's like the guy's doing his job. He's playing as best as he can. Smith didn't have a bad season. The numbers for that season were fairly good. He was in the top 10 for most of the season, for most of the stats, passing yardage, touchdowns, interceptions, bottom 10. It's just, obviously, they've seen what Mahomes can do. They can throw 700-yard footballs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Exaggeration on my part, admittedly. We've seen the videos of what Mahomes can do. You can literally throw it over
there was a bit of hyperbole for dramatic effect there, wasn't it?
Yeah. I just think if you're going to go, I mean, what New England did was probably the best thing. Right, we're going to cut Cam and go with Mac. Because if Cam sat there with Mac behind him, every time he made a mistake, it's going, right, let's get Mac in. They would be asking for his head.
I think it depends on the quarterback, Maz.
Yeah, I mean, look at if you got the likes of Rodgers, Big Ben, Jimmy, Brady, Drew Brees, and people like that. Even Tannehill, the ones that have been around the league a lot, who are good quarterbacks. Even someone like Andy Dalton, if you had that sat behind Andy Dalton for a year with Justin Fields, Kyler Mond sitting behind Kirk Cousins, even someone who's been around the league like Fitzmagic, with Tua, the way the Miami managed the Fitzmagic and Tua situation last year was shocking.
As John said, it would depend on who they're sitting behind.
Exactly. If it is an elite quarterback who they can learn from, who's in the lesser stages of the year, but who could still get the job done, sit behind them for a year because they're going to lose so much.
I also think it depends on the rookie quarterback, because if you look at someone like Mac Jones, it was said many times that he's the most NFL-ready quarterback. Whereas if you look at someone like Trey Lance, I think sitting behind Jimmy for a year or maybe even 2 years would really benefit him.
I reckon Zach Wilson would have done world of good if he sat behind Russell Wilson for a year. Look, because they're the same style of quarterback, good scrambling quarterbacks. And it would have done in the world of good. I mean, I read a report earlier on that the last 5 games he didn't throw an interception, Zach Wilson.
Yeah, Zach Wilson was starting to look good. I mean,
after that injury, he kind of almost like he got his head in the playbook, learned the playbook, but understanding with his wide receivers more. It was.
I'd love for him to come back to England next year so we could see how much he's improved. However, I don't see that happening.
No, I can't see it. I'm looking forward to when they announce the fixtures. It's probably going to be around about April, May time normally, isn't it?
Yeah, it was May 12th last year.
Yeah, on a Wednesday. It's always Wednesday, isn't it?
On Good Morning Football.
It was, wasn't it? I remember watching that. Mr. Hope, it's been a wonderful seeing you again tonight.
Always a pleasure with you, Mr. Butler Henderson.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining in, viewing us tonight, adding all your comments. As always, it is much valued and much appreciated. Give us a like, give us a follow on the below. Well, I mean, we're on Twitter, Third and Long UK Pod, on Facebook, the Third and Long Podcast, and we're also on YouTube. Give us a subscribe, give us a like. God, I sound like a 12-year-old kid when I say that.
Don't forget to like and subscribe at the end of the video.
Thumbs up for liking this video. Yeah. Was it the 5-second subscribe thing or whatever they do? I don't bloody know. I hear it so many times from my bloody kids' phones and tablets that I don't want to hear it. So Muzz has just said he loves Zach Wilson in Pittsburgh. That would be good because he's had a year and he's got a better offense and a better O-line. Could be good. Yep. Thank you, Muzz. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel. Hey guys. Gentlemen, ladies, it's been an absolute pleasure. Mr. Hope, I hope you don't have a breakdown and go to bed halfway through the third quarter like I did on Sunday morning. And I don't want several expletives rhyming with duck.
You get that whether we're winning or losing.
Duck, 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 duck. I just wanted to go goose.
Anyway, I guess there's just one thing left to say then.
Stay safe, all.